Joining me now is the Bellator Women's Featherweight Champion, Cris Cyborg, who is fresh off a big win over Sinead Kavanagh last Friday in Hollywood, Florida. Cris, it's been 6 days. How are you feeling coming off of yet another title defense?
No, I feel great. Now I enjoy the family. I'm really happy, and we trained really hard. I know it was very quick and fast. So, but we know we train always hard for hours, all the rounds, 5 rounds. But no, I'm very happy, very excited, and ready for next one.
Yeah, and that was your quickest finish, I think, since UFC 198. It's been 5 years, a little more. When you go in and you make such quick work of an opponent, does it seem like you did your job better, or do you not necessarily think of it like that?
You know, I don't have that plan to the fight. You know, we always like my last 4 fights, a lot of patience and wait for the opportunities. You know, and I have the mindset go to the fight and see the opportunity, wait for the opportunity to one happen. But you know, I felt, you know, I saw I didn't want punch. I said, man, you know, I'm gonna finish this way, and then just finish. Yes.
Yeah, and I think largely over the years, people have kind of learned not to necessarily, stand in the pocket and trade with you, and that's kind of what she did in that last exchange. She just let her hands go and just threw with you. Were you surprised at all that she came out that aggressive and was willing to do that type of stuff?
No, we know Chanel was dangerous too. You know, she have a lot of boxing fights and a lot of experience too. You know, and then we know she does those strike. You know, I didn't see that she wanna take it down or not. Like we really know think about she's gonna be standing and fight.
And I think the crazy thing about that final exchange was that she probably the last thing she remembers was actually hitting you. She caught you with a decent left hand there. Did that hurt you at all, or did you not even remember it? You know, did you just see it on the replay and like, oh yeah, I guess she did kind of hit me?
You know, the one thing I'm very blessed about, I have good chin. You know, I have good chin. Like for me put to sleep, I have to do a lot of punches, and I didn't felt. If I felt, I was supposed to stop, you know, because I always say people say, Chris, when you go, why you go forward? If you felt something, you have to move around. But I didn't feel anything, you know, like I just keep going.
Yeah, no doubt. And I guess you've done this for so long, and you just continue to win. And it seems like I think with fighters we always assume the gap is gonna get closer between you and your opponents, but you continue to kind of dominate. Are you surprised that after all these years that you're still getting these first round finishes and really being able to dominate a division like this?
You know, I think I always learn. You know, I always like to learn. I never stop learning. So I believe like I never think I'm the best everything. I never think I don't need to learn anything. I think this is make difference, and I always respect my opponent. I always like to learn and training. So I think this is the big discipline. You know, I have a lot of discipline. I'm no party person. I like to train every day. So I think this is because this I have the long journey in my career. Now I'm really focused in the discipline and the training, and this is my life. Like this is my life and my job.
Yeah, and you've done this for a lot longer than I think most athletes do, especially at this high level championship level. So if you continue to dominate like this, is it just something you're just going to continue to do, forever, or do you think that it'll ever hit a time where you'll say, you know what, I continue to win, but I need to take a step away from this?
You know, for me now, it's like I don't feel like I have to fight to prove anything. I really fight because I love my job, and it's the opportunity for share my faith and can continue my community work. You know, my missionary work. I like this is I love to do and share my faith with my fans. And if you want one time, you know, I felt my heart. God tell me, Chris, now time to change. Now for sure I'm gonna change, and I'm really happy to compete now, and for sure in the future I want to have my kid too. So, but I'm really happy at the moment. I don't think about this yet. You know, I just continue training and continue to be ready for the next one.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm glad that you're taking this win well and still being able to do this after all these years. But always pose the question, what do you think is next for you? Do you have any sort of plans for your return? Is there anything outside the cage you're trying to do in the next coming weeks? Kind of what's your plan, today from here on out?
You know, I have just waited for see with Scott Coker who's gonna be the next opponent, and back to the training and the weight and see who's next opponent. I never choose my opponent, but I know Bellator have a ranking 145 pounds. So I have a lot of girls I have to fight and in the line. So I'm just continue training the weight.
Do you think in what you just touched on there, having a division, do you feel like when you reflect on your change from the UFC to Bellator, like now being able to go back and think, hey, no matter what happens, I have fighters that are here. I have a division. I have contenders that are going to figure it out. Do you feel like that really solidifies in your brain that you made the right choice, just being able to kind of have some flow in your career?
Yes, now I have a lot of girls in my division, and Scott Coker is still investing in my division, still signing girls, and this is really nice. It's the one thing I always fight about. It's to promote build my division. It's like the beginning of my career. I always want to build my division because I have a lot of girls 145 pounds. So and the 135, I have a lot of girls cannot make 135. So it's nice to build the division, a lot of divisions for women's MMA, like the men's have, and then it's nice. We have a hard time to cut weight. Girls is more difficult than guys. So why not have more divisions? And I'm really happy Scott Cook continue invest their divisions.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess physically, how are you feeling? Like, are you hoping to, I saw you tweeted something the other day, hoping for maybe January or February in LA. Is that kind of what the game plan to get a quick turnaround? Because I think Scott Coker had said something similar that, you're in there, one of their plans for one of the first cards of next year.
I always like to, it's nice when they have a quick turn, a quick back, you just rest a little bit and back to train again. It's very nice. It's long camp. It's nice, but I don't, I train every day. So if I train every day, it's not just training for the camp. I train every day. So when you close the fight, you just make a plan how the fight's gonna work, who's gonna know how the plan to the fight. But when you work all the time, and you
Yeah, and in that tweet, you had included a picture of Kat Zingano. Do you feel like she's next?
Somebody call me now.
Oh, that's all good. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay. In that tweet, when you talked about the timeline, the location, you kind of you put up a picture of Kat. Do you feel like that's the person that's next for you? Is that who you would like to fight next?
I don't pick who I want to fight, but you throw there, and if it happen, it happen. I let it to Scott Coker and the matchmaker see who's gonna my next opponent. But Kat Zingano was a great fight. She's the girl beat Amanda Nunes. The last one beat Amanda Nunes, and she's being undefeated in Bellator, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to fight her.
And in your post-fight interview, they had asked you a couple of questions, and then Big John kind of turned the attention, to Kayla Harrison, who was sitting cage side. And I kind of got the vibe that maybe you weren't the biggest, fan of that move on the production. Were you okay with that they did that, or did you feel like that kind of took your spotlight away a little bit?
No, I don't care. Yeah. No, I believe like this, like Kayla, like just doing like Ronda Rousey in the beginner doing. I was a champion Strike Force, and Ronda started talking about me, and because people don't know who she is at that time. So I think she just following the things like Ronda did the beginner. She's just doing the beginner too. No, I don't believe she's gonna left the PFL. If you left the PFL, she's gonna be welcome to Bellator, and then we can make the fight happen. I just feel like no reason. Like, I don't think she's gonna live there. So, but she's searching online. Let's see what's gonna happen. But it's gonna be a great fight. Even if she's staying PFL, we can make this fight happen. Cross promotion. But I believe this fight can happen like boxing. Have the A side and the B side. So she's been fighting 2 years in the SPN, but she have 50,000 followers. I don't think she's touched the fans a lot. So this fight can happen anytime. Just make like a boxing A B side, and it'll be a great fight.
Yeah, and I know you've made it clear, like that's Scott Coker's job. You're not the one out signing fighters, but is that a fight you would like you want for your legacy? Like, just being able to once again prove to people like, hey, you think somebody else is the best in the world. Here I am, and I went out there and beat them. And I'm sure it'd be a big fight, a lot of eyeballs, arguably, the biggest fight that can be put on in women's mixed martial arts now. So is there any added desire for that fight for you?
I don't think I need to prove anything. I don't think if fight Kayla is gonna change my legacy, but because my legacy is not just hold a lot of titles, my legacy is be the people hearts champion, change the people around me. So it's gonna be a great fight. Yeah, it's gonna be. If it happen. If it not happen, for me, I think my legacy is gonna continue, But it's a great fight. You know, I think she need that fight. So let's see.
All right. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed, and I look forward to whenever you step back in the cage, seeing you in there. Cris, congrats on the win last weekend, and good luck with everything you have coming up. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.